Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Iron Man issue number 254 by Marvel Comics. And don't let this cover fool you, right? Because when I thought get this comic, I got this for a buck, 1.5 or something euros. I thought this is a throwaway issue, some simple story about some guy, some criminal, and Iron Man is rounding him up and throw him in jail or something like that. Or maybe there was a trash comic that I, gonna rant on for like 10 minutes. But it's actually not. This is way different than what the cover is shown. And I was pleasantly surprised. Not only that, the artist is Bob Layton, and Bob Layton is considered one of the best or most recognizable Iron Man artist there is, and he's still doing stuff private, doing commissions, and his art is really, really good, in my humble opinion, of course. So let's dive in. So we see here Iron Man bursting into, well, you can see the background, but it burst into a facility because it seems that he lost his girlfriend. That girlfriend was murdered, quote unquote, although Iron Man didn't do that, or know that, because he was looking for Madame Mask, and he finds the hideout of the armory of Magia, I believe that's how you say it, and he wants to find her. But Whitney Frost, if I remember correctly, is Madame Mask, but in this time period or issue or timeline, nobody knew that yet, and even Iron Man doesn't know that yet. So yeah, so he wants to find Madame Mask. So, and he battles some goons, and then those goons, throw some robot at him called the Persuader, but Iron Man just deals with him in seconds. And he interrogates some guys here to find Madame Mask, but they won't talk. And there's some shenanigans there. But then the most interesting thing, we switch, skipping a few pages, to the one and only Taskmaster, Taskmaster, my English. And Taskmaster is doing what he is doing best. He's training recruits to, hire and, sell them basically to other corporations, for spying, killing people, being bodyguards, etc. And so he is training people to become new right hands to Justin Hammer's organization in this case. And we see people dying left and right. What I like about this Taskmaster is that he is still a ruthless villain and not some kind of a pussy that Marvel is making him now in modern day Marvel comics. Like he's crying all the time, he's whining, he's pleading for his life because Black Widow hunted him, and he's crying to fake Nick Fury being the Black Nick Fury, so he's the fake Nick Fury, in my opinion, because it's his son, something like that. I mean, shenanigans, it's unnecessary bullshit. But let's not go into that. But this version of Taskmaster is actually cool. This is the Taskmaster that I remember, and I love it. He's great. So, switching back, we see Iron Man, landing on a rooftop on some kind of some plaza. And it seems that Tony is, donating money for a charity. And there's some kind of a Christmas party, and he wants to have kids have the fun time of their life. So he is, he is hiring some people to do that for him. What I particularly always notice that when he puts off his helmet, especially with the later comics, he's always sweating. And I don't get that, because he has a super advanced suit. Doesn't he has some air conditioning in this suit, or some coolant stuff that keeps him like not sweating from not sweating? I don't get it, but he's always sweating, and that's weird. I also like his curly perm hair from that time period. Laughable. Then he contacts, or was Miss Pearson approaches him, and he says to him, well, I assume we are working together when you appointed me to your second in command. And then she's lecturing him about um, about that he has been delegating her to tasks that he can't be bothered with, and she says, "Well, that Tony Stark must be here for all of Stark Enterprise businesses." But then he cuts her off and says, "Your complaint is noted, Miss Pearson, but it's up to me to decide how to run this company." And I think that's a valid point because he's a billionaire. He's the man in charge, right? And it seems that she has also business with Rhodey, and I believe they were lovers once, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm just filling in some blanks here. Going back to Taskmaster and his flunky crew, well, that's a little bit degenerate. That's how I say wrong. It's not really true. He trains his people, and this person is now moving up the ranks. Why? Because he is killing his companions left and right. And normally that's not being tolerated. But Taskmaster, he's doing such a good of a job eliminating people, and that's probably the goal of this whole spiel here, that he is tolerating and even accepting that he is killing his competition, although the whole crew needs to, how do you say, succeed to become, members of Justin Hammer's organization. But, people are getting killed left and right. So this guy here, number one, is, talking or, arguing with number four, because number four thinks that she is better than him. And she says, well, you need to get up, fighting me the next day, and you're going to be having a hard time. But then, and that's hilarious, she goes to her apartment, and her apartment explodes, and he says, "Limey tart." I love that old school, words that using in the, what's kind of comic? Let me guess. Is this an 80s comic? Let me double check. I can't see shit. It's probably in 90s. Wait a minute. Where does it say that it's from the 90s? Oh yeah, here. 1990. Okay. So yeah, I love that, the language from that time period. And he says, a simple magnesium device concealed in the ceiling light fixture, and another French fried student. Excellent. Man, I love this Taskmaster. And then we switch to Taskmaster again, because now the remaining, students have to graduate by killing each other, but they have some goggles. They cannot see. They can only hear or feel. And when you touch someone, you have to engage in combat. So that's what's going to happen. So basically, there are people, again, getting killed. And number one is now being victorious now that he is dispatched of number 2 and number 5. And Taskmaster, gives him a compliment. And he said, you are declared the winner, and he needs to come with him because he has a surprise, more like not surprise, he gets a present or something, or maybe he needs to fulfill one task more, but he gets something that he needs to fulfill that purpose. So, and then we see that he is turned into the Spymaster. So what I didn't know, because I have very little information personally about Spymaster, who he is, what his function is, except that he's a spy master, something like that. And that the original Spymaster was killed in Iron Man 2020. And this is the new Spymaster. So this is the origin of the new Spymaster, Spymaster 2, if you will. And so that's cool. So he gets a mission. And then we switch to the plaza again, where we see the why am I forgetting his name? Santa Claus is getting, he's being, ganged up by kids, and they want all, toys. And I love this one's a Nintendo Power Glove, this one wants the Holiday Barbie, and this one wants a Zaza Gabor doll. This is a product of its time. I mean, a Nintendo Power Glove? Do you remember that? That's great. So it's lots of nostalgia. So, but one of the kids say, hey, what do you have? Do you have a gun? And then some kind of a rent-a-cop guard comes up and he said, "Hey, listen, put that thing away, man. You want to don't scare the kids." And then he puts a kid and a hostage, and then he's using this. So it seems like a mask, and I wonder who that is. Well, no surprises here. It's the Spymaster. And Tony comes in, changes very quickly into Iron Man. I always wonder how he does that, you know? I mean, he has a metal suit, and then he changes so quickly. But hey, comics, right? So, but Spymaster is, you know, not entirely defenseless. He's came prepared. So he uses a aerial destabilizer and, you know, puts, you know, Iron Man away from the place, or he, you know, Iron Man is flying around helplessly. And what I guess he puts on some skis, goes on a ramp and wants to, I don't know, fly away or something. But yeah, Rhodey shoots him, and Iron Man deals with the device. And then, but Spymaster, smart as he is, he's feigning his injury because he has a Kevlar vest. And then he uses electrical nunchucks. Well, not really electrical, powered nunchucks. And it says, "It will turn your head into a tinfoil wrapped jelly." And but then Iron Man says, "Dude," said, "what are you doing? There are children here. You are endangering them." He said, if harms comes of one of them, no power on earth will save you from my wrath." And Spymaster actually thinks about that, and he says, "Well, you certainly set me straight, have you? But you know what? I don't give a shit." And he attacks him anyway. So he beats the crap out of Iron Man, and then, you know, some things are collapsing, and Iron Man, you know, how do you say, helps the kids and saves the day. And then Iron Man, pissed off, he says, "If you want to take a fight, let's go elsewhere." And then he says, "I can't," says Spymaster. And he says, Iron Man says, "Why not?" "Well, because there is something I need for my graduation day, like a diploma." And it says, "What's that?" "It's some kind of a golden ornament that sits on the top of the Christmas tree." And it's Iron Man, surprised, he says, "What? So you're endangering a lot of people here just before a plastic worthless ornament?" And he says, "Well, yeah, I need it." And then Iron Man says, "Just take it and get out." And then the kid says, "Hey, why are you letting him go?" Because he says, "It's Christmas, sweetheart. It's not about violence or greed, but there will be one day that he and I will meet again." Well, that's not what he's saying, but that's what it is. So he's letting him go for now. And then we see a splash page from John Romita Jr. Okay, cool. Yeah, so totally different from what the cover is actually saying. Well, not really, because Santa Claus is in here and attacking Iron Man, but it's Spymaster. And yeah, like I said, I actually love it. The cover doesn't do it justice, and I really hate the green color scheme at the end. But yeah, this is, for me, some kind of a bait and switch. I'm glad I just get this comic and read it. So that brings me to the end of the video, guys. Hope you like it. Yeah, if you want to help me, just, you know, hit the bell for notifications, share my video, subscribe to my video, to my channel, I mean. Give me a thumbs up, and I see you next time.